Hi everyone, it's Catherine, and today make a notepad. You could make a sticker, whatever you want to make. This is just going to be the basic layout or the theme for this video. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is come over here and snap to grid and make my starting shape. And I'm just going to do 3.5 by 5.5, I think, just because I'm so used to it. Okay, so I have my starting shape. Now I am going to come over here, and I think I want to do a rounded rectangle this time. It's not something that we've done very much of, so let's do that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of see how many will fit nicely and what we can do for a border, and we'll kind of go from there. Okay, and I'll explain why as we go along. Now, I know I'm going to want to have some space between each one of these because we're going to do a dotted line border. Okay, 4, 5, 6, okay. And duplicate. Okay. 1, 2, 3, yep, 7. Okay, so we have one for each day of the week. They're not centered, that's okay. And so this is going to be a little bit more than 1/2 inch tall, and I think that for me that's going to be more than sufficient. However, I feel like I'd like them to be just ever so slightly bigger. So this is, it's part of my process. I kind of go and I see what I like, and I think that's going to look best. So I'm going to take that out. I'm going to delete these. And some of you are probably like, you're wasting all this time doing this and that, but really it's about tweaking it to find out what you really like and what you want to see. I had someone ask me for the specific measurements in another insert on another video. Just today I answered, and I was like, I can't quite remember, but that's sort of the whole thing. I kind of leave it open so that you can see what works for you and, make it to fit your needs and your lifestyle. Okay. So I am going to now come over here to the align window. In this software, it is called transform, but if you're using the basic, I am assuming they haven't changed it, and it's still the align window. Okay, they're all exactly centered now. And now there's perfect distance between all of them. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to change these to have a dotted border. So come over to the line window, and if you remember from my last videos, I talked about how you have to add a weight to your line. If you don't, nothing will print. Okay, so this is just a very basic line. It's not too thick, not too thin, and you might have in your software, you'll see all the lines. In this one, it is a drop-down menu. Okay, now I have that cute little, it looks like stitches, that border. Okay, and I'm just going to keep this very basic, and we're going to make it black. Okay, so there we go. We have our shapes. I think they look very cute. And for this, I'm going to do a pattern background, and I'll show you what we're going to do in this space here after. Okay, so let's fill our background. Pick something. There we go. Maybe this one. Yeah, that's fun. The peanut butter and jelly, because this is for meals. All right, now I'm going to label them. We're just kind of getting all the pieces in order, and we're going to put them all together. Okay, I'm dumb. Excuse me. Okay, now I am going to highlight all of these, and we're going to come over to the text panel. I am going to choose the font that I want. I think this is going to be a good one. Okay, we're going to choose our text color. And for this one, I'm thinking, I don't know. Yeah, well, let's just go with black. Keep it simple, right? No need to complicate it. You can choose whatever color you want. You can lift a color from here. And I'm just going to turn off the line color. Now, I do want to warn you, when you turn off the line color, you might not notice later when it comes time to cut this out if you're making a sticker, but if you move it to the working area, this is the area that's going to print, this is going to cut, you will still see that line, okay? So I'm just gonna shut off all the cut lines right now. And I like to do that and then add my cut lines in at the very, very end. But this is a choice. You don't have to do it my way. You can, turn them off as you go so that you know that they have been turned off. Okay, now this is something that we discussed in the past. When you take these and you resize them like this, they might not end up even, okay? With some fonts, they'll be all over the place in terms of size. I should not have moved those because now we're gonna have to do this. But when you resize them from here, it's always very uniform. They'll all shrink exactly the right way, not just kind of how they were situated or anything like that. So let's make sure they're all highlighted and start playing with the size. I think they're going to need to be smaller than that. Probably even still smaller. And just keep going. Find what you like. You might have a specific font you like to use, a specific size you like to use, and you're not wrong to say, you know what, I'm just going to do this once and then save them. And I have done that in the past with numbers, because those are a pain. 1 through 31, guys, you could be there all day. Okay, so can have it at the top. I am gonna put them right here. I think this is the way to do it. Yes. Okay. Now, you'll notice that I didn't group these, and there is a reason for that. Okay, so let me just put these all here first. Okay. Now, we know that this was centered to the page. Oh, am I going to hit the right one? Nope. Okay, it's this one. This is centered to the page. I thought it was centered to the page. Okay. I was wrong. That's okay. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball it for now, get them all into the space. Okay. Now, back to the align window. Make sure you choose the one that's going the way you want to, otherwise they do that where it kind of moves and does its own thing. Okay, so this is going to center it within the box. And also what I'm going to do is I actually think that where Friday is spot on. So I'm going to teach you another little trick. And it is definitely something that I've shown in the past, but that was quite some time ago. So we'll just do a little refresher. Okay. Now, when you group these all together, what would happen when you do this is they would all go to the center of that one big space, but when you have them individual, they will go to the individual boxes, okay? So that's why I kind of don't group them until the very end. All right, now I'm going to take this, and we now know that it is definitely centered to the page. So we're just going to move it. Can you see how Friday is the furthest to the left? When I come over here and hit a line to the left, they're all going to line on that line. They will all follow Friday because it is the furthest over, okay? So now everybody's in a line, and we can group these now if we want to, but I'm going to wait. Okay. And one thing actually I'm going to do really quickly. We made these after we made these boxes, so they should end up layered on the very top, but sometimes it doesn't hurt to just make sure. We hit bring to front. We're going to line that again. We're going to come over to the fill window. Now this has a white background. All right. I am going to increase the translucency, but what I'm going to do first is I'm going to move this over, okay, so that we can kind of see it on there, but it's not in the way of anything. Make sure you don't highlight any of your words. And we're going to increase the transparency so that we can still see a little bit of that design back there. Now, this design has, it's kind of busy, and there are some darker elements, so you know, you might not want the transparency at 50%. With a pastel background, you might be able to go all the way up to like 75, and it's not an issue. But with this one, it's going to be an issue. So I'm thinking we're going to leave it at 20%. That feels right. Okay. So I am going to hit group. This is all one solid piece now. All of the letters, all of the words, they're all together. This is all together. This is still separate. And I am just gonna, I'll go from here. And there you go. So now it is centered. Everything is centered together. This is centered within this box. And we are ready. We can group this together. Okay. Group. I guess I hadn't highlighted those. That's okay. So they weren't part of this. But now everything is locked together. You can click on it from anywhere. And something worth mentioning is if this isn't working for you, right click, hit ungroup. And you might just have to keep hitting ungroup until each and every layer separates. So if you wait until the very, very end to group every last thing together, when you ungroup it, it'll all come apart at once. If you group each word to each box and then you group each box together, they're going to come apart in those same layers. Okay, so you might have to dig a little to get to what you want. So we're going to group it all together. This is one solid piece now, and you have choices. You can make this a sticker. You could make this into a notepad. You could turn it into an insert. This doesn't have to be for meals. This could be, a weekly spread right there, and you could do graph paper on the other side. Very versatile, and really this is just about teaching different little techniques. So now you know how to make this border, align everything and get it looking how you want. All right? I will see you guys next time. Bye.